Okay, hi, I'm back, and I'm almost over to the other side, so I thought I'd turn it back on and finish it up. And so my thread's gotten quite a bit shorter. It's not so hard to pull through there. It's still pretty long, but you know, before it was really long. And so I keep on going along here. I think I've gone up a little bit on my stitch, but it's okay. It's not going to be noticeable. Take off my last pin there. Or clippy. And keep going. Okay, here I am all the way to the end, and I'm just going to come back out in that same spot a couple of times, and that way it'll kind of secure it right there. I got a tangle. I'm going to go through one more time. Now we're going to go up. I want to go in here somewhere and just come up through the top. And I want to come up as close to the edge as I can. I'm going to come up to the very top of the seam. Okay? Right there along the edge, the top edge. I'm going to come out of the top. I'm going to pull it through the very top. And here we are. So I went in here at the front near our seam where we've hemmed it, and I came up through the top edge. Okay, now we're going to be stitching from the back through to the front, and I go about half. I go in. Why don't we go down just a little bit into the seam, right about there. Okay, you're going to want them pretty close together, not touching, but each one of them is going to be a single crochet unless you accidentally get it a little bit too wide, and it's always okay to make 2 single crochets in that space if you feel like it's wide enough for 2 single crochets in that space. So you're going to go back to front and you're going to pull it through. Okay. And when you get it almost through, see I start sticking up a little bit, I'm going to go back to front again through that loop. And then it's going to make a little top seam where I can put a single crochet in there, okay? And I'm going to go a little bit down, I'm going to go right up through the middle, kind of over a little bit, see? And then I'm going to come through, pull it through, and then I'm going to go through that loop. I'm going to go pull it through, and then I'm going to have another little stitch there, see? I'm going to go over a little bit further, back to front, pull it through, and then, oops, I pulled it a little bit too tight, but I'm just going to pull it up a little bit with my needle, and then go underneath, back to front, pull my yarn through, and see I've got 3 there. And then I'll show you one more time. Back to front, pull it through, and then I'll just get up underneath it at the loop with my needle, and then I'm going to pull it through back to front, and I'm going to do this all the way over to the other edge. And then so keep on doing this all the way across, and I'll come back on right before I get to the end of the other side, okay? Okay, I'm back. I'm over to the other side. I'm pulling it through. We're almost to the very other end. We'll just need to do, let's see, I pulled that through, so I'll have to pull that up a little bit. Go through my loop from back to front. And I'm going to do one more just so I can get to the very end and just do it right there on my seam, so we'll be right to the very edge, and that way we'll be able to crochet all the way to the edge of our towel topper. Okay, so just do that, and then go through from front to back one more time just to be sure it's secure. Pull it kind of tight right there, and then but you want to be sure and be able to let it be loose enough to get your crochet hook in, because that's the next step, is getting your crochet hook in right there. And so now what we're going to do, oh, I have to go get my skein of yarn. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my skein of yarn, and I'm going to take my needle out of this now, because we're going to have to hook these two together. And I saw this, I think, on another YouTube channel, or another YouTube video on how to hook these two together. And what you do is you take two pieces of yarn pointing towards each other, okay? You're going to tie one of them around, all the way around in a square knot around the other one, okay? And you're going to pull it tight. Okay, now you've got your other one, and you're going to take it and you're going to tie it in a square knot around your other piece of yarn, okay? And you're going to pull it tight. Then you've got your, they're both tied around each other. Now they're going to slip, and you pull it and make sure it's nice and tight and it's not going to pull apart. Then you can take your scissors and you cut each one of them off pretty short as you can. And then you give it a tug and make sure it's not going to come loose. If you're afraid it's going to come loose, just get a piece of that fray check stuff or whatever, you know, and put a little dot of that on it. No, that might make you feel better. But I never have, and I've never had a problem with it coming apart. So now you're connected to your skein of yarn, and you can get started on your crocheting part of your towel topper. Okay, so I'm going to stop this part, and then that'll be the end of my second part of my towel topper, and then we'll get started on the crochet in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching.